All right, gather round, you romantics and cynics alike. Let's talk about Carl and Maria. They're dachshunds, obviously. Long, low, and full of opinions. Carl, he's a TV director specializing in doggy TV. Think reality shows, but with more sniffing and less actual drama. Maria, on the other paw, is a social worker. Her clients? Naughty dogs. Yes, you heard that right. She spends her days trying to rehabilitate chewers, barkers, and the occasional sock thief. It's a noble profession, if a little exhausting. Now you'd think two such accomplished canines would have it all figured out. A cozy dog bed, endless belly rubs, maybe a shared chew toy. But no, life, even for a dachshund, is rarely that simple. Their biggest hurdle? Time. Or rather the lack of it. Maria's schedule is a nightmare of behavioral assessments and intervention plans. Carl's always on set, trying to get a golden retriever to hit its mark. Maria's days are a blur of barks and bad habits. She deals with everything from separation anxiety in a pampered poodle to aggressive squirrel chasing in a terrier. It's a tough gig, requiring endless patience and a very strong leash. Just last week, she was mediating a dispute between two chihuahuas over a single crumb. The emotional toll, she'd tell you, is immense. It's like couples counseling, but with more yapping and less self-awareness. She comes home utterly wiped, often smelling faintly of wet dog and existential dread. Her brain is still running through case notes. Subject, Fido, a Labrador. Issue, inappropriate licking. Prognosis, guarded. Carl tries to be understanding, he really does. But it's hard when your significant other is too tired to even chase a laser pointer. The romance, you see, was taking a hit. Meanwhile, Carl's world is all about ratings and compelling narratives. His latest project, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kennel. It's exactly what it sounds like. He spends hours trying to get a pug to emote on cue or a beagle to convincingly feign surprise. The glamour, he'd admit, is mostly in the title. The reality is a lot of waiting and bribing with treats. He'd call Maria during his lunch break, hoping for a quick chat, maybe a shared sigh about the absurdity of their lives. But she'd usually be mid-session, whispering calming words to a particularly anxious bulldog. He'd hang up, feeling a familiar pang of loneliness. His evenings were spent editing footage of dogs doing mundane things, while Maria was out saving the canine world, one misbehaving mutt at a time. The tension, like an unchewed rawhide, was building. It usually started subtly with a passive-aggressive sigh from Carl when Maria arrived home late. Then a pointed comment about her social calendar. Maria, equally exhausted, would retort with a sarcastic remark about his artistic integrity and how many takes it took to film a dog sleeping. It was classic relationship banter, but with more growls. "You never have time for me," Carl would whine, dramatically flopping onto the rug. "I'm practically a single dog." "Oh, I'm sorry. Is my job of preventing canine chaos interfering with your important work of filming a Pomeranian wearing a tiny hat?" Maria would snap back, her tail barely wagging. It was the same argument, different day. They loved each other fiercely, but their schedules were like two leashes tangled beyond repair. The frustration was palpable, even for a pair of short-legged dogs. But here's the heartwarming part, the bit that makes you believe in true love, even between two bickering dachshunds. Their arguments, no matter how heated, always ended the same way. First, a tentative nose boop. Then a soft, almost apologetic lick. And finally their signature move. They'd rub their paws together, a silent, comforting gesture that said, "I'm sorry, I love you, and please don't leave me for a golden retriever." It was their unique way of patching things up. A non-verbal apology that transcended all the barks and sarcastic remarks. It was a reminder that beneath the stress and the busy schedules, their bond was solid. Carl, being the TV director, had an idea. A grand, slightly ridiculous plan to bridge the gap. He proposed a new segment for doggy TV, Maria's Miracles, a reality show following Maria's work. Maria was initially skeptical. "You want to film me trying to teach a pug not to eat its own poop?" she asked, raising a skeptical eyebrow. "That's not exactly primetime material." But Carl was persistent. He argued it would raise awareness for her important work, and more importantly, it would mean they could spend more time together. He'd be on set with her, directing, observing, and occasionally offering a comforting paw. It wasn't a perfect solution, but it was a start. Their lives were still hectic, but now they were hectic together. They were a team. navigating the chaos of their careers and their relationship, one paw rub at a time. So, yes, Carl and Maria still bicker. They still get stressed. But they also still kiss and they still rub their paws together. Because even for two busy dachshunds, love, like a good chew toy, is worth fighting for. And sometimes the best relationship advice comes from a couple of wiener dogs